Hey, what's up, y'all? I am Hip Gregory. I want to talk about Mary Ann Williamson. She's running for president. She is an author, a wellness guru, and a spiritual advisor. And this is important because apparently she thinks outside of the box. She is an independent, but she's running as a Democrat. And I gotta say that she's a long shot, unlikely to win. Matter of fact, that's why she's running as a Democrat because independents get about 4% of the vote. Obviously, that's not going to cut it. A question was posed to the White House press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre. The question was, is Joe Biden annoyed with Williamson running for president? Look at how the question is even phrased. Like, is he annoyed? Like, this is so beneath him. And Jean-Pierre's response was, well, she doesn't have a crystal ball and she can't read people's auras to tell, taking shots at Williamson's spiritual beliefs. And I never seen her have this type of energy for anyone else before. And she deals with Fox News and Newsmax on a daily basis. But when it comes to Williamson, all of a sudden she got jokes, and now she's a roaster. She had to deal with Peter Ducey's son. I remember when someone from Newsmax asked her the question, "Is Joe Biden woke?" And this dude was serious. Like, first you call him Sleepy Joe, now you want to know if he's woke. And Williamson, she was so gracious when announcing. She said Joe Biden is a nice man, and she's not going to take any personal shots. So what happened to when they go low, we go high? Does that not apply here, or is it only a contrary thing? When they go low, we go high, but when they go high, we go low. And the View decided to double down on the same topic. One of the women, I forgot her name, she said she was agreeing with what John Pierre said, but she just felt it was beneath the White House press secretary to say it. And then Sonny Houston, who's an intelligent person, she starts going in with these comments or quotes from Williamson, probably taken out of context. I don't know, but supposedly Williamson said that illnesses is in the mind and stuff like the cancers and stuff is a physical manifestation of what happens to your in the psyche, and that you can heal yourself in the mind. So what is the implication here? They're trying to say that Williamson is unserious about healthcare and medicine. So, and the examples that she used was friends or family members of her that died from COVID, wishing that they could save themselves with their mind, and HIV saying the same thing, which I found very interesting, knowing that Mary Ann Williamson, she is known for her care and treatment of AIDS patients. That was her life's work. I mean, she donated and raised hundreds and thousands of dollars for that cause. She even started an organization that fed 14 million housebound patients. But Sunny Houston, she didn't tell you that part because that would go against her smear campaign. And Whoopi Goldberg, her only statement was that Williamson, if this is the perception that people have of you, it's up for you to change it. Because she knows that's a false perception, because she's from Hollywood. And remember, HIV in Hollywood, HIV ran through Hollywood. So she knows exactly who this woman is and what the work she has done. And her saying that it's up for you to change it, well, guess what? You could have helped her out right then and there. You have a microphone and you have a platform. And the time when you said that statement you just made, you could have been like, nah, that's not fair. She did this and she did that. But you chose not to. You know, they say the truth hurts, and it must hurt right then and there for you to know the truth and be unable to speak it, either because you're unwilling or you've been directed not to. That's gotta burn. And you notice the complaints they have nothing to do with policy. Well, Mary Ann Williamson said if she was elected president on day one, she would sign into executive order the lowering of all prescription drug prices. I mean, and the president has the power to do so, being that these prescription drugs are created through taxpayer money. So, has this president done that? No. So, who's more serious about health care. And you might say, well, Joe Biden, he did reduce prescription drug prices. Well, let's compare the two. Williamson, she's going to lower all drug prices to Joe Biden's 10, and is only for seniors. And it's not going to take place until 2026, with the exception of insulin. Insulin happened right away, to be fair. So when you sign a bill to lower drug prices in 2026, what you're also doing is guaranteeing the price is going to be high for the next 3 years. And this is the person who is serious. Joe Biden is against Medicare for all. He said he would veto it if it got to his desk. Medicare for all polls at an 83% popularity rate among Democratic voters. And the Democratic president is against it? What? We know he's against it. We know Trump is against it. And Obama was against it too. People were calling for Medicare for all. And what did he give us? The Affordable Care Act, a watered down version, which is a Republican plan. That's Mitt Romney's plan that he had adapted. And even though it's an extremely watered down version, you cannot repeal the Affordable Care Act without replacing it, as Donald Trump found out when talking about repealing it in 2018 when asked what you're going to replace it with. He said, if you vote for me in 2020, a whole 2 years later, then I'll tell you. Telling the people that he had no replacement for it and telling everybody that they're going to go without health insurance for at least 2 years. That was so unpopular with his base that he dropped the whole talking point completely. He did not say the word health and care in the same sentence for like 2 years. And with the Affordable Care Act, Obama put in a provision that saying in the case of emergency that you could, invoke universal health care. Can y'all think of an emergency that happened lately? Something like a pandemic perhaps? Yeah, you can. COVID-19. Did Joe Biden implement universal health care? No. But this is the guy that's serious, right? If COVID-19 didn't prove how much we need universal health care, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the whole system of universal health care was created after the pandemic of 1918, the flu pandemic. Every other country in the world, every other modernized country in the world has it, except the United States, the richest country in the world. I mean, that's why the testing and the vaccines came with no out-of-pocket cost, because it was so important to control the virus, to save people's lives, and to keep it real, to open back the economy. They wanted you to go back to work. When you got laid off from your job, you were also laid off from your health insurance. I mean, doesn't that show you the importance of not being tied, not having your health insurance tied to your employer? That's a leverage that they have over you. How many, and maybe you are this person that stayed at your job that you hated. The only reason you stayed there was for the health insurance. I mean, 68,000 people die every year who are uninsured. 68,000. You know, and the thing that's bugged out, this is the richest country in the world, but a Medicare for all is less expensive than the system that we have today. Because during the Reagan administration, he passed a bill saying that if you go to the emergency room and ask to see a doctor, they got to see you. Well, guess what? By the time you get to the emergency room, the situation is a lot more serious than if you would have went to the doctor on a regular basis and caught something early. Mary Ann Williamson, she is for Medicare for all, lowering prescription drugs, a livable wage, universal college, getting money out of politics, stopping the politicians from being bribed by corporations, and she wants to eliminate all student loan debt. Now that's the policy she's running on, and this is something that they would never discuss in the mainstream media. I don't know if you could tell or not, but I really dislike mainstream media. I mean, dislike is not a good enough word. I loathe this mainstream media. I loathe them they're just a fountain of misinformation. I don't know if y'all ever watched wrestling back in the day. That's what Gorilla Monsoon used to call Bobby the Brain Heenan, a fountain of misinformation. Well, that's mainstream media. So, I mean, that's it. I am Hip Gregory. If you're looking for me, you can find me as Hip Gregory everywhere. I'm Hip Gregory on YouTube, Hip Gregory on Instagram, Hip Gregory on Facebook, Hip Gregory on Twitter. Even my cash tag is Hip Gregory. Even my handle on the game Toon Blast is Hip Gregory. So that's it. Thank y'all for watching and peace. Have a good one.